Bald Head Island is classified as one of North Carolina's barrier islands. Barrier islands are identified as long, narrow, offshore deposits which both protect coastlines from storm damage and provide many habitats for wildlife. Of the 12,000 acres that make up the island, 10,000 of them are set aside as natural preserves for the island's natural wildlife, which include over 200 species of birds, dolphins, loggerhead turtles, alligators, deer, foxes, and fish. The maritime forest on Bald Head Island is considered a climax community on Bald Head Island. It is a mix of old-growth trees, shrubs, and healthy soils, and offers a stable habitat with plenty of erosion control. It has been recognized, however, as a globally imperiled ecosystem and requires careful protection. The Bald Head Island Conservancy studies the forest carefully and attempts to understand its natural cycles and long-term stability. Most importantly, however, the maritime forest is the home to Bald Head Island's deer population. White-tailed deer are the island's major herbivores, and researchers have spent years trying to decide what the desired deer population on the island should be. Based on the maritime forest's available resources and growth rate, a study in 1998 by Ray and Bolin estimated that the carrying capacity of the island was 88 to 186 deer. In 2005, the deer population on Bald Head Island peaked at 350 individuals. From there, the Conservancy issued more aggressive culling, or hunting, methods on the deer to keep the population regulated and healthy. In response to the higher amounts of culling, many citizens on Bald Head Island, along with specialists, wondered if there was another way to control the deer population. Overpopulation leads to more stress on the maritime forest. For example, if the deer eat all of the acorns, the old-growth trees drop, there will be fewer saplings in the spring and the tree population will be compromised. Not to mention, the larger the population, the more chances there are for negative encounters between deer and humans, such as attacks and accidents with golf carts. Finally, if a deer population is too big to live off of these disproportionately small amounts of resources, the risk for disease will dramatically increase. In 2006, the Bald Head Island Conservancy was asked to present all potential routes it could take in order to contain the deer population. Option A was culling, aka regulated hunting. This is described as a cheap and effective method, but some citizens were concerned about the violence surrounding hunting deer, as well as safety with hunters on the island. Option B was no management, but this was deemed not an option due to the damage already done to the maritime forest. And option C is non-lethal management. A new, cost-effective drug called Gonacon could be a viable option for deer management. GnRH is a chemical produced in the brain of the deer, and without it, very little estrogen, progesterone, or testosterone is made. Gonacon is a GnRH vaccine, which means that it binds the GnRH produced in the body so that it can't trigger reproduction through production of sex hormones. Then, it causes the body to fight off its own GnRH using antibodies. In order to do this, GnRH is synthesized and attached to a foreign protein. All in all, this would result in infertility in both male and female deer. A single shot of Gonacon has resulted in infertility in both swine and deer for up to 5 years. This drug is EPA approved and is also backed by the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, the USDA, the Village of Bald Head Island, Friends of BHI Deer, and the Bald Head Island Conservancy. Studies have proven successful on a wide range of animals, from California ground squirrels, Norway rats, pigs, horses, and white-tailed deer. Many people are worried about the safety of the deer during the culling process, and this non-lethal population control is considered a more humane option than simply hunting the deer. This drug, Gonacon, had very strong effects in a recent trial in South Carolina as well. Finally, this would give scientists in North Carolina a chance to partner with North Carolina State University and UNCW to set a good example for nationwide environmental awareness. But immunocontraception is an expensive process. On top of the cost of the actual drug, this program would also involve payments for tranquilizers to subdue the deer and professionals to administer the drugs, among other costs. This process would also be the first example of non-lethal immunocontraception use for wildlife in North Carolina.